What's going on, guys? It's your boy Daddy DZ from the D.D.Godz, and I've got a deck profile for you today of Tri-Brigade Lyrilusc. This deck is near and dear to my heart. It was my favorite deck of last format, and I was just so crushed when they banned my favorite girls, Simorg, and they limited Recital Starling. I think it's a travesty, but no fear. I have a deck profile here for you guys that I'm going to show you just how good this deck is. It's not best deck of the format. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I'm gonna show you how you can do 6 interruptions off of just 2 cards. So stay to the end of the video to watch my combo. But before we get into everything, please, if you haven't already, join our Discord. Server link is in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe to our video, and become part of our Discord community. So we're going to start here with main deck. Triple Turquoise Warbler. It's the best bird still. Special summon it from hand. It's it's free because it as long as you control no monsters, special summon it, and then it can special summon another bird from the hand or the graveyard. So this is cool because it's free material for your extra deck and to banish off the Tri-Brigades, but this card can really help you go for going first for better combo, and going second. Bird we're playing is playing triple Cobalt Sparrow. I think this is better to run at 3 than at 1. I see a bunch of people running only the 3 Warbler and the 1 Sparrow, and it's a very small bird package. You don't see that very often when you're running it. So if you max out these birds, you're going to open these 2 birds more often, and these 2 birds is what gives you that 6 interruption board, helps you play through hand traps better, which is why I think it's better to max out these birds. The last main deck bird I'm playing is 1 copy of Sapphire Swallow. I don't think you need more. You don't need the Canary or the Wagtail, in my opinion. I think those are just bricks that are going to clog up your deck, and they don't really contribute to combo very well. But this is a good extender because we have a lot of birds plus Nerval, so we have a lot of targets to summon off this. This is searchable as well, so I think it's fine to play this ratio of birds. Next up is the Tri-Brigade portion. The Tri-Brigade portion is pretty standard: triple Fractal, triple Nerval. I do 2 kits, and I do 1 Cuirass. I don't really need to go over too much about the Tri-Brigade. It's pretty self-explanatory at this point, but Fractal here is the best one to dump the entire engine, or to make sure you have enough fodder in the graveyard. Nerval searches and is really good with the birds because you can special it off of Swallow, you can search it off Cobalt. Kit is, in my opinion, the best one to normal summon, just because you can link it off for the Almirage and get the whole engine going. And Cuirass, our main combo searches Cuirass, so I don't think you need to play 2, but if you felt like you wanted the extra extender, you can go ahead and play a 2nd copy of Cuirass. Next up is my hand trap lineup. I think for this particular format, because you have the 60 card pile deck that is just crushing it right now, you really need a whole lot of hand traps if you want to compete. So I'm going with triple Ash Blossom, triple Veiler, triple Ghost Ogre, and triple Nibiru. So one thing I'm not playing right now is I'm not playing Droplets. I was before, I have now cut it. I do think Droplets is, it's a broken card, but I think right now it's not gonna help you. Especially in these kind of mid-rangey decks where you have to use a lot of hand traps to break these combo boards and to stop them from playing. When you have hand traps plus Droplet, you have to make this tough decision of holding onto your hand traps for the Droplet, or just using the hand traps and thus making your Droplet kind of useless. The Phantom Knight deck can play around Droplets too easily. A lot of these Halki Fibrax combo decks are making Herald the Arclight, so your Droplet can't really send monsters from your hand. And really good players all know how to play around Droplet at this point. So I think for now, Droplet's just really not the way to go. But you could play it. If you were going to play it, I would say probably play it over maybe like Nibiru. You could side Nibiru and main Droplet. But the reason I'm running these particular hand traps is, I max out on all of them just because I want to see 2 of them as often as possible. But at least these 3, Ash, Veiler, Ogre, in any combination with Nibiru, is able to deal a good amount of damage to these combo decks, especially the ones playing the Adventure Token, since Ash and Ogre, as well as Veiler too, all kind of trade with Adventure Token. So as long as you have any of these plus Nibiru, you're kind of gonna crack the board, at least reduce it to a point where it's more manageable. Last monsters that I do run in my main deck here is I do play the Enforcer package. You don't have to play the Enforcer package, but I really like the follow-up that it gives you. So you do have to play the 2 bricks. Celestial draw 2 is just too good, and sometimes Dasher helps by getting some, because you can use Dasher and that can trigger a Turquoise Warbler you drew for turn, or a Cobalt Sparrow, and both effects, depending on either how your graveyard is set up or not, can really snowball into a lot of good advantage. So Dasher actually works a lot better with the bird engine than you would think, and Celestial, draw 2, it's pot of greed. What's not to like about that? That does it for the monsters. For spell cards, triple Bird Call. This is still a very broken Rhoda. For those who may not know, it is, you can add 1 Lyrilusc monster from your deck to your hand, or send it to the graveyard. And then on resolution, you can special summon a Lyrilusc with a different name than what you added. So this was a little bit better when we had more birds, but this still just being able to add any of the birds is really, really strong. Good consistency enabler. And then I play the 2 copies of Fusion Destiny because it's semi-limited. Most of the time going second, you just side 1 out, but play 2 just to max out seeing it going first. And then I play a bunch of limited powerful spells. 1 Tanky, 1 Foolish Burial, 1 1-for-1, and 1 Call by the Grave. Tanky is a, it's Rhoda for your fractals. Foolish Burial is Rhoda for pretty much anything because you can dump the Nerval or dump the kit. This can also work well with Turquoise Warbler because you can dump Cobalt Sparrow, and then you can summon that Sparrow off of the Warbler. 1-for-1 is really good going first or going second. In some of my testing games, I have drawn this for turn, and this is like a 1-card Zeus, basically. Well, 1.5 because you have to discard, but this is basically Zeus going second, and going first, this helps you push through hand traps, helps you see combo, because you can summon Cobalt Sparrow off of this, and then Cobalt Sparrow will then search you out like a Nerval, and that's combo. Call by the Grave. So way too many hand traps running around. I don't personally own Crossout Designator, and Crossout Designator is really cool and everything, but it makes you have to run a lot of wonky ratios in your deck, which is why I personally don't like it. But Lancia is still seeing main deck play right now. Lancia is kind of an FTK versus Tri-Brigade. However, I will say, with the Bird engine, you have more plays. You don't lose to Lancia as easily as pure Tri-Brigade does. Because pure Tri-Brigade gets bodied by Lancia. The Bird engine will make sure that you still end on some relatively competent board under Lancia. Granted, you're not going to end on full combo under Lancia. Let's just get real. Last card main deck here is 1 copy of Tri-Brigade Revolt. You don't need more than 1 because we can search this out pretty easily. This is what ensures our follow-up. Summoning Omen on the opponent's turn is always really, really nice. And yeah, you don't need more than 1. Ghost Spell is seeing some play in the format, but typically we have Appaloosa to protect our Revolt. And even then, I don't think you'll see Ghost Spell all too often to worry about it. For the extra deck, for Xyz, we're playing 1 copy of Recital Starling because it is limited. 1 copy of Assembled Nightingale, 1 Downard, 1 Zeus. So our Zeus package of Nightingale, Downard, Zeus. You could cut the Downer Magician if you wanted to. One option you do have is if you don't want to play the Enforcer package or you can't afford it, what I would recommend is playing a package that gets you Ensemble Robin, which is the monster that bounces multiple times a turn. You do have to play a couple more birds in order to do that, to make the most value out of it, but I think a lot of people can't really play through Robin's non-once per turn bounce effect. So it's really what you want to do, but it's undeniable to Zeus's ability going second is just unrivaled, and going up against a trap deck, it's so easy to just out their entire back row. If they don't have an answer to Zeus, they pretty much just lose the game. There's just going second to just going for the Zeus before you do any of your combo just eats up your opponent's your opponent's disruptions so easily. And I was playing a game against one of my friends, and I just made the Zeus and just pretty much baited the entire board before we went combo. So that's like the beauty of the Tri-Brigade Lyriluse version, is that you can make Zeus very easily. One copy of Destroy a Phoenix Enforcer. Card is just completely broken. It's part of your follow-up. It's interruption. It gets you the Destiny Heroes in the grave that give you more follow-up. Such a powerful, good card. For Link monsters, we have one Amaraj, standard, one Double Dragon Lords, part of our end board, one Bearbrum, one Blossom. I initially played two. Two can sometimes come up, but if you're playing correctly and your technical play is right, you shouldn't need the second one. But if you did need the second one, I would cut the Downer Magician to play the second one. One Anaconda, summon the Enforcer. One copy of Doom Eagle. It was either this or Rugal, and I think this is better than Rugal just because this is so strong versus the Enforcer package. On your turn, you can shuffle the Enforcer back in the extra deck, and then on your opponent's turn, you can shuffle their Celestial to deny the draw 2 and just really make them lose so much value out of that whole package. Cards are really good, and then you can link climb with this into access code and just easy game. Two copies of Omen. I will show you in the combo. We use one on our turn to search, the other summon on the opponent's turn as a disruption. One copy of Appaloosa. This is kind of what replaces Simorgh, even though Simorgh is a lot better in this deck than Appaloosa is. There's just nothing that we can play that really replaces what Simorgh was doing. There's no way to summon Apex Avion from the deck anymore. So next best thing is just summon Appaloosa. We're in a very monster heavy format anyway, so Appaloosa is a better card, but you do have to be careful because this card does lose to Ogre pretty easily, so you do have to play with caution because Ogre can out Appaloosa pretty easily. But if you make your full combo, you're still gonna have a bunch of more interruptions anyway, so it's not the worst thing in the world if they Ogre this. Last card in the extra deck is Access Code Talker. Just the easiest way to go for game. Make this either with Omen or with Doom Eagle. Make it 5,000 or 6,000. You have so many attributes here that you can pop your opponent's board and just crack it. Super easy to go for game. Alright guys, that's the deck profile, and I will be right back. I will show you the 2-card combo that's going to end on 6 interruptions. Okay guys, I'm back, and I'm going to show you now the 2-card combo. It's 2.5 card combo because we are going to need one Tri-type to discard, but I'm going to show you my combo that's going to end on 6 interruptions with multiple follow-ups, and all we're going to need to do this is to have some way of Turquoise Warbler and Cobalt Sparrow, which is very easy and very consistent with this deck. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is we're going to special summon Turquoise Warbler through its summon condition, and then we're going to use the effect to summon out our Cobalt Sparrow. Now Cobalt Sparrow is going to activate, and we're going to add a Tri-Brigade Nerval. We want to make sure we add Nerval here over anything else, because if we get interrupted at the next step, we have a path to combo. Next up, we're going to go ahead, we're going to overlay, and we're going to summon a Recital Starling. It's very important, because of how the format is, that we do not activate Starling's effect to increase attack, because that will play very heavily into Ghost Ogre, and we do want to get that Surge effect. So we're going to detach in order to search. And we're going to add the copy of Sapphire Swallow. Keep in mind that because we have Cobalt Sparrow as the material, they cannot hit this with Impermanence or with Effect Veiler. They can ash this if they want to, but they're going to see that you search Nerval, so they're probably not going to ash it, and we're not going to give them an opportunity to do so anyway. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to activate Sapphire Swallow's effect. We're going to special summon itself. And we're going to special summon Tri-Brigade Nerval. For right now, zoning does not matter, but once we get to a certain point, then you do want to pay attention to your zoning. We're going to go ahead and we're going to link summon using all of our birds, and we're going to go into a copy of Barren Blossom. Now we're going to activate Nerval's effect here. We're going to banish all 4 of our Lyriluscs in order to summon a Tri-Brigade Omen. Now at this point, this would be probably where they would Nibiru you. However, we have not yet normal summoned, and if they Nibiru us, we're gonna get 2 searches. So it's very subpar for them to search. For them to Nibiru us here. Problem is, our next step is that we're gonna link everything off, and we're gonna go into an Appaloosa. I like to put Appaloosa here on the right zone. This is what I've been used to as far as my zone placement is concerned. Now, the chain that you can, the way you chain this whole sequence doesn't really matter. You're protected from Ash Blossom at this point, but just to be safe, just in case it's like they have, Ash Ogre, I would say do Nerval, then Shurag, in make one of these chain link 1 and chain link 2, but block them with Blossom. That way, no matter what, they can't ash a search. So we're going to draw 1 card, and then we're going to put 1 back, and then what we're going to do is we're going to add 1 copy of Kuraz, and we're going to add 1 copy of Kit. Okay, so now we have a normal summon, and we have an extender, and we have Appaloosa. So our next step is we're going to go ahead and normal summon the Kit, and we're going to activate Kit's effect. We're going to banish 2, and we're going to summon out our double Dragon Lords. Okay. Next, we're going to activate Kuraz. Kuraz is going to discard one of our tri types that we made sure to open, and we're going to special summon Kuraz. We're going to activate Kuraz's effect. We're going to banish our 2 in the graveyard in order to summon a Bearbrum. This is why I said zoning is important, because we want to make sure that that where we summon Bearbrum, it has a zone to point to. So you don't want to put these 2 in put them like this, because now you have nowhere to summon. Well, you could summon here, but it doesn't really. But I like to move outward. At this point, we're gonna link our 2 monsters here. Sorry about that. And we're going to summon Verte Anaconda. Now we're going to activate Verte effect. We're going to pay 2,000. We're going to dump our Fusion Destiny and our 2 hero bricks in order to summon out the Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. At this point, we do not have a lot of zones. We still have to grab our Revolt. So to do that, we're going to activate Enforcer effect. We're going to pop Verte Anaconda and the Bearbrum to make sure that we clear 3 zones. That's going to trigger the Bearbrum. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to add the Tri-Brigade Revolt. We're going to place 1 card at the bottom of the deck. And then we're going to go ahead, we're going to set our Revolt. And we'll have ended our turn with Enforcer pop, Revolt, summon out Omen, because we'd properly summoned the Blossom. We'll have Kit, and we'll have Nerval, but you could also bring back any of the birds. What I would do personally is I would bring back Blossom, Nerval, and then probably Cobalt Sparrow, just in case we have any way to get ourselves a copy of Turquoise Warbler and we could summon it. Maybe if we're caught in like a grind game, that way we can go for like Zeus later. But we have a pop, we have a banish, we have a send, and then we have 3 negates with Appaloosa. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 interruptions. This, maybe it's a hand trap, could be another combo piece, but 6 interruptions with just 2.5 cards and we have multiple follow-ups through the Revolt, through Enforcer. We have Celestial Draw, Dasher Summon. That's GG right there, boys. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned the combo. If you have any comments about the deck, maybe you've been playing with it yourself, let us know down in the comment section. I'd be interested to hear what people want to, people's thoughts about the deck. And with that, see y'all later.